Assalamualaikum guys. I'm sure that you guys know about Dajjal, but the question here, how far that you guys know about Dajjal?
Okay, so guys, let's know about Dajjal. Dajjal comes from the word Dajjala, which means covered. In the Arab traditions, when the camel falls sick because of they get disease, because of their skin, they will cover the camels with some sort of things in order to disguise the camel so the camel doesn't look sick. So that's the definition of Dajjal. Dajjal also called as Al-Masih, which means the awaited one. The word Al-Masih comes from certain words such as first is Mansu, which means white, which is suitable to describe one of Dajjal eye because we know that Dajjal is blind. And the second one is about Masaha, means travel. It's suitable to relate that Dajjal can travel from another part of the world to another part of the world in a short period. For the concept of Tawheed, we all know that Dajjal will come to this world and he will claim himself to all the people in the world as God. As in the concept of Tawheed, many people throughout the times, since from the time of Salaf until nowadays, have claimed that they are God. For example, O Buso Bozi Bisaka, Arifin Muhammad, Mun Sung Myung, and many more of them. However, we know that no one of these people is the Dajjal that was mentioned by our Prophet, peace be upon him. This is because our Prophet, peace be upon him, also described some of the characteristics of him in Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslims. Our Prophet, peace be upon him, want us to not even get close to the Dajjal, even though we believe our iman are very strong. Because Prophet Muhammad said, when you hear the emergence of Dajjal, stay away from him. By Allah, indeed there is one goes to him and he believes himself is a mu'min. But then, he becomes his follower because he gives apprehension to the hearts. Narrated by Abu Dawud. Okay, so guys, how come for this person, this man stated in the hadith, deceived by Dajjal, as we all know that in the first place, he know that the Dajjal is not a god, he is a false god. Okay, because this is the implication of a person not learning the Tawheed. There are three categories of Tawheed, and one of it is Tawheed al-Asma wa Sifat, which is maintaining the unity of Allah's name and attributes. This category of Tawheed was meant to affirm that the name and attributes of Allah are incomparable and unique. So, a Muslim who has a good knowledge of Tawheed will not easily fall in the delusion of Dajjal, because the Dajjal is a man like us physically. In contrast, Allah SWT is not like us, because Allah said in the Quran, there is nothing like unto him, and he is the hearing, the seeing. Surah Ashura, verse number 11. Before the Dajjal appeared, his followers have done many preparations to make his job easier. One of the job is to manipulate the definition of God, so that the ignorant people will easily fall into the delusion of the Dajjal when he comes. The easiest way to do this job nowadays is by inserting the agenda into the film. So as can be seen, many films was produced by them to damage our faith unconsciously. God was made as a character in the films, and such of this character is played by the actor as a human who has supernatural power, such as the first one is like Alanis Morissette in Dogma, Morgan Freeman in The Bruce Almighty, Jeffrey Rush as Ra, the Egyptian god in God of Egypt, and many more. All these films can influence the ignorant people, especially our young kids who do not have knowledge about Tawheed. They will start to believe that God is not unique in his essence and attributes because the gods in the films is just like them physically. The god only different from them because he is superpower. And this is very dangerous if they have this kind of thought about God. That is why Tawheed is very crucial for us to protect ourselves from the delusion of Dajjal.
Okay, I will talk about the argumentation about the Dajjal. As we know that Christians also have their own view about Dajjal, which is stated in the Bible, which we call it as Antichrist. Antichrist, as described in the Bible, first define the Trinity, and the second one is man of the sin, which is he do many sin and he disbelieve towards the true God. And then it say as a beast, mean that he is very powerful and can govern the world. And then it will help by little horn. Little horns, as stated in the Bible, is 10 horns, which is 10 kings. And the 10 kings come from the Rome kingdoms, and which is nowadays from Spain, England, Switzerland, Italy, France, Germany, and Portugal. And then the three of the kingdom has been banished, which is Henry and Ostrogoths and also Vendor. And from this literature, when they compare it with the Al-Hadith, they say that Muhammad, peace be upon him, take it from the Bible and fabricated it. We can refute the argumentation about this with 2 points. First, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam cannot read. Ayah 157, Allazina yattabi'una ar-rasula an-nabiy ummi, which means the people that follow the prophet and the messengers that uninstructed, which is cannot read and cannot write. So how come he took from the Bible which is he cannot read? The second point is there is no evidences or any narration told about Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam go to anywhere or learn from another Abrahamic faith. And the disbelievers of the Makkah also accuse him the same, but Allah has refuted in the surah An-Nahl, which is walaqad na'lamu annahum yaquluna innama yu'allimuhu bashar lisanul ladzi yulhiduna ilayhi a'jamiyyun wa hadha lisanun arabiyyun mubin. The disbeliever of Makkah says that, oh, you Muhammad took from the A'jami, which is non-Arab, but Allah said what the Prophet Muhammad SAW brought in Arabic. How can he take it from the another source like Bible or Taurat? For the agenda towards the Dajjal arrival, which is to make Muslim be materialistic, so they control the world currency. Nowadays, US is the one that control currency.
Okay, so let's take a look about the currency of United States of America. As you all know that United States of America have a government that really respect about this Illuminati and Freemason and so on. So we know that in their familiar $1, the dollar currency have shown the idea of waiting sign that they wait the Dajjal by showing all important symbol in it. In dollar paper money, there are the symbol of Illuminati, which is the symbol of the one eye, pyramid, the cross, and also the symbol of Great Seal as a symbol for 13 nations. Okay, so let's take a look. For the left part of the $1 America, we can see a shape of pyramid like a logo, and it's written Anoid Coitis on it, which means about announcing conception. It shows that there are some conception that have been made by this sort of Illuminati of Freemason. They will launch about this when the time has come. Second, it shows about the Illuminati eye, which is the famous eye that resembles about Dajjal. The third part is about the Novus Ordo Secularum. If we translated it into English, we can say it's about a new secular order, which we know that the idea of the Illuminati being established is about to establish a new order to the world and wipe the old order of the world. And there are 13 layers of brick in the pyramid, which resemble about 13 original colonies that have been made by the United States of America. There are 72 bricks also, which resemble about 72 powers of the name of God in the Kabbalah. Below of the pyramid, they are written a number in the form of italic number. If we translated it, it resembles the year 1776, which is the date the Illuminati formed by Edward Sharp. And we can see from this italic number, it can form into the number of 666, the number of Satan. At the right part of the dollar America, they are written 13 letters in motto, which are written about the April 6. It say about one of many. And there are 13 illuminated stars and 13 air-lighted colonies, which resemble about the United States of America. Also have 13 arrows, 13 leaves, 13 berries, which resemble different powers possessed by the 13 colonies. And also there are 9 tail feathers on the eagle and 9 spears risen through to return to heavenly state. And as we all can see from this logo, the phoenix is not an eagle actually. It rises from the ashes. It resembles for the rising from the ashes of the ignorant world.
There are 4 preparations for us in order to face the trial of Dajjal. The first one is by strengthening our Tawheed. The second one is by seeking refuge from Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. This was recorded in Hadith in Sahih Muslim. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika minal azabi jahannam wa min azabil qabr wa min fitnatil mahya wal mamat wa min syarri fitnati al-Masih Ad Dajjal. Better preparation for us to make is by memorizing the first 10 verses of Surah Al-Kahfi, and it was narrated in Hadith in Sahih Muslim. And last but not least, the last preparation for us to make is by staying away from him when he appears. This Hadith was narrated in Sunan Abu Dawud.